This is Lofoten, a place where mountains rise straight from the sea, where tiny fishing villages cling to the coastline, and a place where the weather decides everything. Before we even landed, Lofoten gave us a glimpse of what was to come. We were thousands of feet above the Arctic Circle, watching one of the strongest aurora storms I had ever seen. It felt like an omen, a sign that this trip would be something different. That being said, we just didn't know how unpredictable this trip would be. On our first day, we woke up to the sound of wind hammering the cabin we were staying in. Not the peaceful, quiet snowfall we'd imagine, but 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and sheets of rain coming in sideways. For us, we had hikes planned every day for this trip, but stepping outside, it was clear it wasn't going to happen today. So instead, we did what you do in Lofoten when the weather isn't on your side. You drive, explore, and see where the road takes you. The next morning, the weather still wasn't giving us a break. But if there's one thing about Lofoten, it's that the conditions can change in minutes. One second you're in the middle of a snowstorm, the next, golden light is spilling over the peaks. So we decided to push further. We left the southern islands behind and headed north towards Flagstad. And then, for the first time, we got a break. The storm faded, and for just a moment, Lofoten felt calm. We soaked it in. This place doesn't hand you good weather, it makes you wait for it, and when it finally comes, it's worth every second. It had been days since we'd seen calm like this. No wind, no rain, just snowfall, soft and steady. But from our research of the weather the last few days, we saw a window, a small gap in the snow, just enough time to hike Reone and maybe, just maybe, catch a glimpse from the top. On our way there, we kept passing these peaceful moments, like Lofoten was taking a breath. We started climbing. Everything around us disappeared in fog. No views, no mountains, just white. But the deeper we got into the trail, the more we believed the forecast might be right. And just before the summit, the clouds broke open. But even after all of that, Lofoten gave us one more gift before the day ended. The sky turning violet, the cabins glowing, like the storm had never happened at all. For our last day, we had no wild plans, no weather to chase, just a quiet drive up north saying goodbye to everything. We made our way to Henningsvær, one of Lofoten's most iconic spots. A football field floating between the sea and the sky. It felt like the perfect way to end it. Not dramatic, not intense, just stillness and peace. Lofoten didn't give us what we expected, but it gave us everything we needed. A reminder that sometimes the best stories come from the hardest conditions. You just have to be willing to weather the storm. This trip was an adventure in every sense. If you ever get a chance to experience Lofoten, take it. And if you enjoyed this journey, consider subscribing. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.